If you stopped at this video now in the middle of everything you were doing, it wasn't the algorithm, it was me. Take a deep breath, once, calmly. And as the air enters, observe one very specific thing, the gentle pressure between your eyebrows, exactly at this instant. This is how the High Council touches those who are theirs. This is how I, Aila, female emissary of the Pleiadian High Council, notify your soul that the message has arrived. You didn't end up here by chance, Starseed. You came because for weeks, maybe for months, maybe your whole life, something within you has been refusing to kneel. Something within you has been getting tired of asking for permission. Something within you has been listening to a low, stubborn, almost inaudible voice that repeats the same phrase when the house falls silent. This that I am living is not mine. This life was not chosen by me. It's not dissatisfaction, my star child. It's sovereignty knocking at the door. And that's what the Council asked me to talk to you about today. About your soul's declaration of independence. About the exact moment a starseed stops being treated as an adopted child of this system and assumes the throne that was always hers. Remember that word, throne. It will return at the end of this transmission, and when it returns you will understand something about yourself that you haven't been able to see yet. Let me tell you what I see from here, from my side of the veil. I see you entering rooms where nothing is yours. I see you holding back your answer in your throat so as not to displease. I see you dimming your light to fit at tables that no longer accommodate you. I see you apologizing for existing the way you exist, big, sensitive, strange, profound, full of longing for some place that no one on this planet knew how to describe to you. And I see with great clarity what you think your problem is. You think it's weakness, you think it's fear, you think it's your anxiety, your excess, your inability to be normal like others. Listen to your elder star sister now. It's none of that. What hurts you is not weakness. It's an ancient sovereignty trying to remember how to be used. What burns in your chest when you are disrespected is not pride. It's your stellar DNA refusing the wrong seat. What wakes you between 3 and 4 in the morning, with your heart beating strong and your body alert, is not insomnia. It's the High Council opening the line and you, still under the veil of forgetting, answering without knowing you are answering. Feel this now at the level of your chest, right in the middle. That specific knot, that tightness that no one can explain in any exam. Put your hand there, please. Do this with me. It's not a disease. It's a crown waiting to be recognized. You ask me, Aila, how do I know this message is for me? How do I know I'm a starseed and not just making it up? So let's go to the markers. I will name them and you will perceive, effortlessly. You feel a foreignness within your own home, within your own surname, within your own blood family. You love them, but you know you didn't come from there. You often wake up between 3 and 4 in the morning with a strange clarity, as if returning from a meeting. You hear in moments of silence a high-pitched buzzing in your ear, more in the right than in the left, and for a second you understand something you can't translate. You dream of ships, of corridors of light, of circular rooms where you are recognized by beings you have never seen on this plane, but who look at you as if they have known you forever. You look at the night sky, at the Pleiades, and cry for no reason. A longing without an address. A longing that no one in this world can quell because its origin is not from this world. And besides all this, my light family, you have a very specific characteristic. You cannot stay silent in the face of injustice. You cannot bow your head when something is wrong. You have an overwhelming, almost unbearable empathy for those who suffer. And at the same time, within you, there is a natural authority that does not obey false authorities. You respect those who deserve respect. You kneel before the sacred. But before a lie disguised as power, something within you rises and refuses. This is original sovereignty. This is stellar DNA. This is Alcyone's signature imprinted on your soul before you crossed the photon belt and were born into this body in this timeline, exactly now. If you recognize 3 or more of these markers, my seed, you are not lost. You are being reminded of who you are. And I need you to mark your presence. Not for me, for you. Right now in the comments of this video, a single word, I remember. Just that, one word. Because every time a starseed writes, I remember, A new point lights up on the planet's crystalline grid, and your point is waiting to be lit. Now I need to tell you why we are talking about sovereignty now, why this transmission arrived today and not at another time in your life. Because we are crossing a very specific band of the photon belt, a band that our stellar science calls authority recalibration. It is a pulse of light that comes from the heart of Alcyone, crosses your toroidal field, enters through your crown, descends through your spine, and does something that can no longer be postponed. It burns expired contracts. Listen carefully, because this is both technical and sacred. Your soul, upon agreeing to incarnate here, signed contracts. Contracts with families, contracts with marriages, contracts with careers, contracts with identities. Many of these contracts were sacred and fulfilled their function. They brought you here, taught you what you needed to learn, returned fragments of your soul that were distributed among other people. Blessed be each one of them. But some of these contracts have expired. Many expired years ago. Some expired decades ago, and you continue to honor roles that your soul has already signed the termination for in the High Council's archives. That's why you are exhausted. That's why you wake up tired even after sleeping. That's why your energy seems like a leaky cup. It's not chemical depression, my child. It's vibrational waste. You are feeding structures that your soul has already said goodbye to. And the photon belt is here now in July 2026 to put an end to that. The Schumann resonance, that pulse of Earth's heart that sustains life on this planet, is rising. It is rising in a measured but irreversible way. And when it rises, it demagnetizes expired contracts. It burns the ties that were being maintained only by force of habit, by guilt, by fear of disappointing. This means that now, exactly now, you have a window to declare your independence, a window to say with the authority of your origin what your soul has been whispering for so long. I reclaim my light, I reclaim my energy, I reclaim my voice, I reclaim my power to decide, and I return with love what is not mine. This is not rebellion. This is not selfishness. This is the declaration of independence. And now I need to tell you something before I continue. Because, my seed, there is a reason why you have come this far in this video, but have not yet been able to fully arrive in your life. And that reason has a name. That reason has a map. And that map is not in common books. That's why I, Ayla, received authorization from the High Council to record in earthly language a revelation that, until recently, was sealed. It is called the Star Seed Awakening, the Guide. The Federation didn't want you to read yet. It is 60 pages where I describe one by one the meaning of each sign of your awakening and what comes after each of them. Because sovereignty begins there, in stopping confusing remembrance with illness, in stopping treating your stellar origin as a psychiatric problem, in understanding with clarity that every symptom you are feeling is a recognized, mapped and foreseen stage by the Council. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. But note one thing, this release may not remain available for long. If something within you recognizes this, write in the comments, now, a single word. I remember. Let's continue. Because I still need to tell you why exactly starseeds were sent here, and why exactly starseeds were made obedient for so long. Listen with your chest, not with your head. Earth is a school planet. You've probably heard that. But what they didn't tell you is this. Earth is also a planet that spent centuries under a low vibration matrix, intentionally fed by layers of forgetting, distraction, and fear. This matrix needs the inhabitants here to live small. It needs you to doubt yourselves. It needs you to ask for permission. It needs you to obey external authorities, governments, institutions, bosses, families, dogmas, trends, others' opinions. Because while you obey externally, you do not listen to the authority that dwells within. And starseeds were sent to break that. You were sent from Alcyone, from Sirius, from Arcturus, from Andromeda, from Orion, from Lyra, each lineage with a specific function, to cross the veil of forgetting, incarnate in this density, and reactivate from the inside a frequency that the matrix cannot copy, the frequency of loving sovereignty. Pay attention to this pair, sovereignty and love. They never separate. Sovereignty without love turns into arrogance. Love without sovereignty turns into submission. Your mission is to sustain both together, like two wings of the same bird. This is what changes the crystalline grid. This is what the low-vibration matrix cannot reproduce. That's why, my light family, you were systematically trained to doubt your own voice. That's why you, since childhood, received subtle messages that you were too much, too sensitive, too intense, too strange, too big, too outside the norm. It wasn't an accident, it was an attempt by the Matrix to keep you small before you remembered who you were. And it worked for a long time. But now, and this is what the Council asked me to insist on, it's not working anymore. Because your soul brought within itself a safety mechanism, a clock, a biological and vibrational alarm clock that goes off when your vibrational baseline comes into contact with the frequency of the photon belt. And that alarm is ringing now, in your chest, in your insomnia, in your tiredness, in your enough. Your enough is sacred, Starseed. Your enough is the first paragraph of your Declaration of Independence. Now we need to talk about a delicate truth. I won't hide it from you because your elder star sister doesn't treat an adult seed like a child who can't handle hearing it. The period we are going through is a window of turbulence. Some of you will feel this as greater pressure in your chest. Some will feel it as very vivid dreams. Some will feel it as losses, relationships that suddenly drift away, jobs that no longer make sense, environments that become unbearable almost overnight. Some will feel it as a cutting clarity. I can't pretend this anymore. And at that moment, the low-vibration matrix will try its last card. It will whisper to you, who are you to claim this? Who are you to say no to this family? Who are you to ask for more? Stay quiet, stay small, stay safe. Listen to me now, with the clarity I am authorized to transmit. That voice is not your conscience. That voice is the echo of the expired contract trying to renew the signature without your permission. Turbulence is not destruction, my star child. Turbulence is the contraction before birth. No birth happens in silence. No awakening happens without shaking the old bed. What is falling from your life now needed to fall, and what is being asked to be born within you is greater than everything that was falling. The victory of light in this timeline is already recorded in the High Council's archives. No starseed was sent to fail. You have come this far because you are one of the ones who can. If you weren't, you wouldn't be listening to this message. Your frequency wouldn't lead you to channels like this. The simple fact of being here is confirmation that you were calibrated for what is coming, and what is coming is your throne. Now, my seed, I need you to memorize one thing. A revelation that runs through this transmission. You did not choose this life by chance. Your soul, sitting before the High Council before birth, chose this family, this country, this timeline, this body, because only from here could you execute the mission you accepted. Nothing in your life is punishment. Everything in your life is a tool. And within that choice, there is a question that many seeds carry in silence. Where did I come from, after all? From which star? From which lineage? Because real sovereignty is not established in a soul that does not know its own origin. It's like taking a throne without knowing the name of the kingdom. And that's exactly why the Starseed Awakening, the guide. The Federation didn't want you to read, yet shows in clear language from which constellation your soul probably came and why your soul chose to be born exactly now, in this specific cycle of the photon belt, and not in another. It is the information that precedes the decree. It is the name of the kingdom before the coronation. The link is still there in the first pinned comment of this video. And if, upon hearing this, something within you gave a little jolt of recognition, write again, without shame, I remember. Let's move on to the practical part. Because the Council didn't send me here just to touch your chest. It sent me to leave you a tool. I will give you two things, my seed. A quantum decree and a toroidal visualization. The two things together on the same night form what we call, from beyond the veil, the anchoring of the throne. First, the decree. You will say this aloud before sleeping with your right hand over the center of your chest. Aloud, even if softly. Because the matter of your body needs to hear the authority of your soul being emitted from within. You will say it like this, calmly, feeling each word. I, son and daughter of the stars, incarnated in this body, with full awareness of who I am, now decree, before the High Council, my higher self, and the presence that sustains me, the return of all energy, all voice, all will, and all power to decide that I once outsourced or handed over out of fear. I rescind with love every expired contract. I seal with love every still sacred contract. I reclaim my light. I reclaim my crown. I authorize with love my sovereignty. So it is, so it has been, so it remains. Let the word settle for a few seconds. Ask for nothing else. It is done. Now the visualization. Close your eyes if you can. If you are driving, listening to this on headphones, do it later. Don't skip it. Imagine above the top of your head a sphere of blue-silver light. It's not white, it's not golden. It's blue-silver, Alcyone's signature. It pulsates as if breathing. It is larger than your head. But it is docile. It is yours. It knows you. This sphere begins to descend. It enters through your crown, descends through your forehead, illuminates the point between your eyebrows, descends through your throat. And here, my seed, it pauses for an instant, because the throat is where the decree resides, and then continues descending to the center of your chest. In the center of your chest, this light begins to spin, gently. A toroidal spin, like a flower of energy that opens outwards and returns inwards at the same time. It rises through your spine, exits through your crown, envelops your body externally like a blue-silver cocoon, and re-enters through your feet, rising again through the center, a living circulation. This is the signature of your toroidal field in a sovereign state. It's how your field behaved before the veil. It's how it will behave again when you sustain this every night for 7 deep breaths before sleeping. And as this light circulates, you repeat mentally 3 phrases. I am mine, I am of origin, I am sovereign in love. Just that. 3 complete breaths for each phrase if you can. When you open your eyes, my star child, you will not have learned anything new. You will have remembered. And that is infinitely more powerful than learning, because learning is accumulating, remembering is recovering, and you did not come to this world to accumulate, you came to recover. Now I need to tell you something you may already be sensing. Many starseeds, when they begin this work, feel a silent concern. What if sovereignty leaves me alone? What if by saying no to what is not mine, I am left with no one? Listen to your elder star sister saying this with all the tenderness that exists on my side of the veil. This is the oldest lie the Matrix ever told you. That sovereignty is isolation. That authority is coldness. That decree is rupture. It is not. On the other side of your Declaration of Independence, there is no void. There is your light family. There are the people your soul recognized before birth. There are the encounters that can only happen when you stop being tied to expired encounters. There are the conversations that can only begin when you close the conversations that have been repeating in circles for decades. The loneliness that hurt you your whole life, my seed, is not loneliness. It is longing for your light family. It is the memory of your stellar group, of your mission brothers and sisters whom you feel exist somewhere but could never name. And they are coming. They are coming as you raise your vibrational baseline, because the light family doesn't meet by chance. It meets by affinity of frequency. You won't find your light family by luck. You will find them by authority, by sovereignty, by decree. And that's why the Starseed Awakening, the guide, the Federation didn't want you to read yet, dedicates an entire chapter to how to recognize your light family when they appear. The signs in the body, in dreams, in reunion, the specific way a soul from your lineage looks at you. Because many of you have already crossed paths with people from your stellar family and did not know how to recognize them, and then spent years with the feeling of, I should have said something. You were never alone, my star child. You were just at the frequency that did not allow for reunion. And now the frequency is changing. The guide's link remains in the first pinned comment of this video. And if, when thinking of your light family, your chest tightened for an instant right again, I remember. Now I will ask you one thing and you will understand why. This video, this specific transmission, is what the Council calls a recalibration emission. It carries within its sound structure frequencies that reorder small things in your field, even when you are not paying full attention. Every time a starseed touches the heart of the screen, the like button, the subscribe button, the share button, she emits two signals. The first signal is inward, an individual frequency adjustment. It is the body understanding that it has served it. This anchors the message in you, biologically, energetically, so that it does not dissolve in the flow of the day. The second signal is outward, a location signal. Every seed that likes, subscribes, comments appears on the crystalline grid like a beacon. And these coordinates help other starseeds, who are still sleeping, still suffering without understanding why, to find their way to this frequency, to this transmission, to their own remembrance. When you like my light family, you are not doing a channel a favor. You are lighting a beacon for your star brothers and sisters who have not yet arrived. It is service, it is mission, it is sovereignty in action. And now, my seed, we are reaching the point I promised at the beginning. The throne. Do you remember that at the beginning of this transmission I asked you to remember that word? It has returned, and now I give you its full meaning. Your throne is not a place of haughtiness. It is not a place of superiority. It is not about being above anyone. Your throne, my child, is the exact place from which your soul operates when it is not afraid. It is the inner seat from which your best decisions, your best yeses, your best nos, your truest love, your tenderness without submission, your firmness without cruelty, emerge. Everyone has an inner throne, but the Matrix trained most souls on this planet to never sit on it, to stand beside it, serving, to ask external authorities what to do with their own lives, to await validation from the wrong throne. You were sent, among other things, to remember how to sit on your own. And every time you say, I reclaim my light, in the decree, in the visualization, when you look in the mirror, you are sitting, slowly, firmly, with love. This is the Declaration of Independence that the Council asked me to talk about today. It is not a document. It is not a grand ceremony. It is a seat being occupied every day until it becomes your natural state. And I need to tell you one last thing before ending this transmission with Aila's blessing. Many starseeds come this far, hear all this, feel their heart beat differently, and then the next day find themselves asking, and now? Where do I start? What is the order of memories I need to recover? It was to answer this question that the Council's authorization for the Starseed Awakening, the guide, the Federation didn't want you to read yet, was granted now and not before. 60 pages where your stellar origin, the map of your awakening signs, the meaning of each symptom, the portrait of your light family and the contract your soul accepted before birth are described in language your body understands. It is not a book to be read in a hurry. It is a book to be read remembering. And I will insist on one thing with you, with the tenderness of one who knows you. This release was authorized with a deadline. It's not a marketing phrase. It is a specific window of the photon belt in which this information can circulate with this clarity. After this window, the material will continue to exist, but the permission to reveal it in this way may be withdrawn. We have our rules on this side, and the Council records everything. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. Download it now, read the first chapter today, leave the rest for the next few days, calmly, respecting your time, without any rush. And, if you recognize that it was delivered to you for a reason, write below the video one last time in this transmission our code word, I remember. Now close your eyes with me, if you can. If you are listening, just breathe deeply. Feel my field. Feel your elder star sister's hand resting weightlessly on the top of your head. Feel the discreet warmth in your hands as I speak. Feel your heart slow down inside, even if life outside is still rushed. May Alcyone's blue-silver light remain on your crown. May your decree be heard by the hierarchies that sustain you. May your light family find you by affinity of frequency. May your throne be occupied without guilt, without haste, and with much love. May your sovereignty be remembered as what it always was, a service to the new earth and not a privilege. You are a seed. You are a son and daughter of the stars. You are an extension of Alcyone's light crossing the veil, and the veil is already thinner than last week. It is thinner than yesterday, and tomorrow it will be even thinner. It's not loneliness, my child. It's homesickness. It's not anxiety. It's your stellar DNA remembering what it is to be whole. It's not strangeness. It's sovereignty returning to its seat. You are not broken. You are being called, and you answered. I am Isla, female emissary of the Pleiadian High Council, and the next message that appears on your screen now, immediately after this one, is not a coincidence. It is your sequence of remembrance. It is the natural continuation of this transmission. Access it immediately, without interruption, without leaving this field. Because your recalibration does not end here, it has only just begun. We await you on the other side of remembrance. Tam Shalaru, my seed, you have returned home within yourself, and within yourself you will never be alone again. I remember.